All right, so for this week's book, we're going to be going over the ISIS papers. And I hated this book, y'all. Let me tell you, it was a lot for me to get through. I love the book. It had so much information, and the way that she puts it, I was just like, it's not even funny, but I was laughing the whole time, like the things that she was saying and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, this lady is like wild. But I just thought it was funny the way that she was referring to some stuff and just describing certain parts in there. I don't even know if I can mention it on this platform. But anyway, she like breaks down a lot of stuff. The book is really good. It honestly has me thinking about stuff like so differently, and like just little things that the book focuses on like racism and stuff like that, and why we as Black people are where we're at and kind of like where we need to be. And I found this book super interesting because it's written like, I want to say like in the 70s or something. It's several essays that she wrote. She puts when she's done every essay at the beginning. Like this one, chapter 21, was July 1987. And I think that's like almost at the end. So it was basically written during like the 80s or whatever. And just to see kind of like we're still in the same place. We're still in the same place that we've been in for years and stuff like that. And yes, some things have gotten a little bit better, but a lot of stuff is just still exactly the same, especially when it comes to like this racial type issue stuff. So she kind of takes it back like way back, and like the essays fluctuate, you know, they're her thoughts in that time, so they fluctuate between different time periods and stuff like that. But the overall general thing she does kind of take us back and like where we started and why we as like Black people are the way that we are. And especially like within like raising families and the stuff like with single mothers and fathers incarcerated, fathers abandoning single mothers, raising both males and females, and how men are so important to raise men, women can't raise men. And then the issues that we're seeing in today's world, where a lot of obviously single Black mothers have raised Black sons, and then the way that they are, and history repeating and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just thought it was a really good book. And then just certain stuff that she was talking about, and I don't know, I don't want to like give the book away or anything like that, or say like anything that is not allowed, but she just has me looking at stuff differently and thinking about things a lot differently than I have thought about stuff before. So within that, there was so much good information, because I think that we as a whole community do need to come together and live life differently and stop like joking about ourselves. Like it is kind of lit, like at some points, like just laughing, like we laugh our pain off a lot, but at the same time we can laugh and still get down to business. Like we need to do things as a community and get together because other communities are doing it, and like in that, you know, realm, passing us up type of thing. What I did not like about the book was that it was really repetitive, and that could just be because, again, like it's a series of essays, so she's just like, she probably didn't know how she was going to form this book, and she just put the essays together. But it would have been nice when it was written to have taken out the repetitiveness. But a lot of stuff is like repeated over and over and over. The book is like, I think it's 301 pages, and I read it in a week, so that was like 43 pages a week. 43 pages a day. And it just, I fell behind, and on like the last day I was just like, I had to read I think like 80 pages or something, because I was like 2 days behind. I kept falling behind like daily and then trying to like catch back up, and it just wasn't working. But on the last night I was like, I need to finish this book, like I have to. And I did, and I loved it. Towards the end, like the part where I'm like, I have to finish it, like those last couple of pages weren't as repetitive, but for the most part it's like super duper repetitive, and like I'm just repeating myself saying that it's repetitive. That's how the book was. And so that just kind of drove me a little bit bonkers because I'm trying to get through it. I'm trying to get the information, and I could have done without the repetitiveness. But other than that, it was a really, really good book for anybody trying to open their eyes and see what they can do better as far as being within this community and making it better for our future generations, our children, ourselves, even, because it's things to like something that she was saying was women need to be more selective on who they give their body to and things like that, and making sure what type of man you're giving yourself to. And I don't know why she pointed it out so much more. Like, it wasn't like drilling it, but she did say it towards women. I don't know. I guess we have the responsibility of bearing that burden if like a man decides he doesn't want to, be in the picture and stuff like that. But I know it can go both ways. Like, some women have children and they leave the kids with the man. So it can go both ways, but that's just the way she said it in the book. And then she was just saying that like women under 30 shouldn't even be like thinking about having kids. You shouldn't think about trying to have kids until you're 30. And then for men, age 35. Which I get it, because she's saying like by then you kind of know yourself, you would have dated, and you should know if this man is ready, if he has, financial, stability, if you have financial stability, because that was a big thing like that she was saying in the book. And so I agree, but then I know like as us women get older that we our eggs start to decline and stuff like that. So that was the only part that I was kind of iffy on. But at the same time too, like, we probably shouldn't be reproducing if we're not going to reproduce with the right person. And make sure that our kids, whether we're together or we're co-parenting, making sure that our kids have two solid parents in the homes, or not in the home, but in their lives, so that they can be a solid person and these cycles can break. She was talking about teens have no business having children, because even like the most well and mature teen, like, it's hard, and a lot of teen parents are not able to handle the mental load. I had my kids when I was, I think, 24 and 26, and it was hard. They're like a year and a half apart, and it's super hard. So I cannot even imagine personally being a teenager and having to take that step, even though I was more of a mature teen. I didn't party. I didn't do, drinking. I wasn't out hanging out and stuff like that. But even just having that like quiet and solitude and like kind of learning about yourself or whatever as a teen, I would have missed that if I would have had my kids earlier than I did. So I thought that was really, really, really a good point. And then she was just too talking about the emotional maturity, our emotional intelligence, because a lot of people don't have it. And then we have all these, what do we call it now? Like childhood trauma and stuff like that. And we need to work through that before we try to get in relationships and create children. Because I know part of like working with your childhood trauma, you do have to kind of do that within relationships. And it sounds crazy, but sometimes your partner brings those things out of you and shows you what you need to work on. Like, those things that make you upset aren't always just your partner. It's those childhood trauma things coming up, and I'm barely learning that at my old age. So yeah, all in all, I just thought the book was a great learning tool, something that I'm glad that I did read, and I do have this information, in my brain and stuff like that. But it was long. Yeah, it was long. For me, I don't know, maybe like stronger readers or people who read faster or whatever, they might do better. But for me, it was a pretty long read.